What's happening, everybody? How are we doing? How's the bow tie? So, this whole Periscoping thing is a great opportunity to stop procrastinating, is how I look at this, because to get in the studio and shoot my show every single day is a lot of time. But to be able to sit here at my desk and hop on once a day and rap for 10, 15, 20 minutes about why social media sucks if you don't know what you're doing seems to be a lot more conducive. So, big shout out to my boy Brian Fanzo. Social Fans, follow him. He's a Periscope meerkat and machine, always cranking out good content and helping you know what you don't know that you don't know about not only live video streaming but technology as well. So, Social Media Sucks is the name of my book. I don't feature brands that suck in the book. I tell my story. I give some opinions. I might talk of one or two brands that suck, but it's not really like a what brands suck at social media. But the conversation that's been extracted out of me writing the book and really branding myself as Social Media Sucks, if you don't know what you're doing, is to be able to talk about brands that are doing it absolutely wrong and ones that really drop the ball, ones that that really make some noise for the worse and become a PR nightmare. I don't do this to shed more light on the brands that messed up. I do it to shed light on what not to do. I think it's very important. I think that to better understand what brands shouldn't do, because people are just Harley G Studios in the house. What's happening? I think it's important to help people know what they don't know that they don't know, because a lot of brands, how you doing? A lot of brands think that they're doing and communicating effectively. I remember the story. There's a couple that I remember over the past couple of years where some local businesses retaliated back at customers and that said something about their product or service on the page and basically started arguing with the customer and screaming at them and yelling at them and calling all kinds of thank you darling, thank you. Bow ties never got a style because bow ties were never in style. My boy Scott Monty once told me. Terrible idea. Oh, it is a terrible idea. Yes, arguing and screaming at customers. I'm like, what are you doing? No, abort mission, abort mission. So, but brands don't understand. I don't think that it's about them responding in a negative context, because I think it's more about them responding in general. That's the problem, because brands are quick to want to talk to, or quick to want to get their message out, right? That push, let me shove my message down a consumer's throat, whether they ask me for it or not, versus the pull, which is let me pull you into my ecosystem so that I can provide something of value to you, regardless if you ever spend $1 with me. And I think that brands not only grasping the idea that, oh, wait a second, I need to actually talk back. This is not a one-way conversation. This is a two-way conversation. And we got people popping up here. This is awesome. This is great. I don't know when the hearts start popping up. I'm sure that's going to be soon. If you could do me a favor, hey, yo, what's cracking? Jesse Rodriguez in the house. There's the hearts. Holy cow, there's the hearts. All righty. All right, we're rocking and rolling. If you guys can do me a favor and swipe right and just share this with your followers, and also with your Twitter followers, I sure would appreciate it, as they would say in the South. Look at a southern gentleman. I'm in the South, but it's way south. I live in a little country called Miami. It's the closest place to the United States that you can get. Thanks, Holly. I appreciate you, girl. Social Fans in the house. Let me talk about this guy for a second. First of all, the guy's a stand-up individual. He's a family man. He's got the whole family program going, the influencer program going, and the friend program going. Yes, I did make it. Absolutely. And it's all your fault. I blame you and Mario Armstrong. Send him a tweet right now. I wish I could tweet him. I think he's on set out in California today with Ford, but maybe he'll catch this replay later on. But big shout out to you, Brian. You are really paving the way for people to really better understand what's going on here with this live streaming and how brands are really able to capitalize on this real time. The ability to say, you know what, we're having an event, our product is being featured in this specific area, and we can immediately engage our audience by live streaming, and that's just absolutely brilliant. Now, I know you know the people over at Meerkat, Brian, and I know you know the Periscope peeps. Can you please figure out why we cannot do vertical video. This is the stuff that keeps me up at night. I want it to look like this, and for me, it looks perfect. For you, it probably looks like about like that, right? I trim my nose hairs, don't worry. But let's work this vertical video out. I think both options should be available. The main reason, Brian, I know we hold our phones, and I'm doing it right now. Vertical video, landscape. Vertical video, landscape. Hey, you say tomato, I say tomato. But the main reason, Brian, that I'd like to see the vertical video is that I want to be able, I like portrait because it's mobile hold there. Oh, do not disturb. The reason, Brian, is that I want to be able to redistribute this content. So I want to be able to take, thank you, I appreciate that, MW Spoiler. High five. I want to be able to repurpose this content, obviously. I want to be able to take this and put it on my YouTube channel when I'm done, put it up on Facebook, and allow it to compete with my YouTube link that I attempt to post up there and see what Facebook serves first. But I want to be able to repurpose this, create a blog post, put it on Pinterest, blah, 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 put a snippet up on Instagram, and it makes me crazy. It makes me want to punch a baby, like a real baby, to know that I've got those black lines there. Now, I did download a software today that helps me edit those black lines out. I don't know, but again, it's just all I'm getting, and I think that the landscape is the way to go. I'm glad I could help, Jilly. Where's everybody coming in from? They're popping up all over the place. Hearts everywhere here. If you guys could swipe to the right and just share this with your followers, that'd be great. I got jokes. I'll be here for at least the next 10 minutes. I got a bow tie on. It's at least worth just putting your phone down and just sitting back and watching this. But I guarantee you that you're going to leave. Dave Shrine is repurposed Periscope as well. I think it's part of the reason they don't do it. I get it. Minneapolis in the house. Orlando's in the house. Southeast Texas. North Carolina. Hey, welcome, everybody. I appreciate all of you for tuning in. You didn't have to do this. Take time out of your day. But then again, we are digitally addicted, and we're looking for something entertaining to go, you know what, please pop up in front of me and entertain me, whether it's knowledge or information. And it's just such a fire hose and a plethora of information that's going on these days that, I got a lot to talk about. Otherwise, it's just another TV screen. I got it. I understand that. I want to be able to repurpose it. Can we not just have both options? That way everyone's happy. You're in a smuggled phone from Arizona State Prison. Hey! Respect the hustle. The UK's in the house. Atlanta's in the house. The ATL. So, some popular conversation is taking place today. I would talk about some trending news today, but I think P. Diddy's still trending for dropping his son's coach with the cowbell. Anger management. Possibly. We're not going to talk about it. I want to keep it semi-focused here. Thank you. I appreciate that, Brandy. Bow ties are my thing. I wear bow ties. The topic is social media sucks. Now, typically, this is the first show, so we're doing a little freestyle action. I'm kind of helping people better understand. It's not my first Periscope. It's like my third or fourth, I think. Because I'm trying to wrap my head around what I'm doing it consistently, because I only saw live events and interviews and stuff where I'm at, or behind the scenes stuff being the most beneficial. But then I saw, Brian is just an absolute animal with the streaming, both here on Periscope and Meerkat, and my boy Mario Armstrong is as well. He's constantly streaming and helping people understand. And now the reason I decided to join, in fact, I did this morning. As soon as I saw yesterday, big shout out to my boy Mario Armstrong as well. Make sure you're following him here. He just introduced his Inspire Scope show yesterday. That inspired me to get the social media sucks scope rocking and rolling. So big high five, Mario. He's part of the tribe. Big shout out to Never Settle Club. He started this Facebook group called the Never Settle Club. It's full of all kinds of motivation and just good stuff to be part of. And Mario's just doing his thing out there, working with brands, building his brand. So make sure you follow him, because he was a big inspiration to me getting started today, as well as Brian. So thank you so much to both of you guys. High five to that. The format is going to be, I'm going to try to do this every day for at least 10 or 15 minutes. The format's going to be talking about one brand that does suck and one brand that doesn't suck. Now, when I say one brand that does suck, that doesn't mean I'm there to just rake them through the coals. Typically, it's like the red car. That was the Red Cross issue when the kid that was handling the social media account was in the wrong account, and they said they were chugging dogfish beer, which is delicious, and they were getting shellackered. That went out to the Red Cross. And social media sucks when that stuff happens. U.S. Airways, when employees post specific pictures with specific props. I don't think I need to go any more details there. There's just a tremendous amount of things that take place during social media, as we know. that we all share, and most of the stuff ends up going viral. What I don't want to do is I don't want to trash brands. I'm not here to trash people. But if you did something stupid, then I do want to highlight it, not to emphasize that you screwed up. That's going to be the obvious. I've got a bow tie on and I'm talking about what happened. I want to be able to emphasize what went wrong so that people understand what went wrong, and they don't make the same mistakes. I believe it's extremely powerful when we can learn from others' mistakes. Correct? I appreciate that. I really do. So I've been wanting to launch this. I did 3 pilot shows in a studio here in Miami at the Miami Media School called the Social Media Sucks If Show. Had a bunch of interns filming it and editing it. It went really well, but it takes a lot of time out of my schedule to stop, go to the studio and do it. And heck, I'm shooting HD with my iPhone 6. I got tripods set up. I got good lighting. I've got everything ready to go to just shoot everything wherever I'm at, literally. Big shout out, iSocial fans, for the retweet, joining in, chiming in, inspiring me to Periscope and Meerkat. This guy is such a live streaming maniac. Look, squirrel. Such a live streaming maniac that he has, he meerkats his Periscopes and he Periscopes his meerkats. Top that one. I'm going to get another camera going when in future shows here. That this will be the Social Media Sucks scope on Meerkat. He is an absolute beast. You know it, Jilly. Inspirescope. Yes, sir. That's your boy Armstrong. He knows what's up. Inspirescope. He knows the drill. It is very, very addicting because it allows us to connect instantaneous. Yeah, let's talk about social media that doesn't suck, specifically with live streaming. Celebrities that are doing a great job. I'm thoroughly impressed with Kevin Hart. Anybody else? Any other Kevin Hart fans? This dude was scoping from the jet, on the jetway with his family, eating chicken nuggets, stuff that was way off of his diet. It was hilarious. Okay, I'm only going to eat one more. And his kid's like, hey, Dad. And everyone's looking down at their phones and have headphones on. They're getting ready to... he actually knows how to hold the camera and talk, but he's also a comedian. Remember, his job is to be able to... He's got to be quick on his feet. Quick. So he's doing a good job. Let's talk about some brands that are... Specifically, I see Billboard popping up a lot. I see... I see live iHeartRadio. They pop up a lot. I really like the fact that they went and got Joe Jonas out of his dressing room during getting ready to go do a meet and greet with fans. They periscoped the meet and greet. TMZ's in the mix, huh? All right, good. Big shout out to TMZ. I haven't seen any of theirs, but I need to subscribe to theirs. Put at TMZ right there in your comments, and I can... Huffington Post. Thanks for following me, Stern. I'm going to follow you back. Hulu. Yes, I've seen Hulu pop up. Shark Tank. Nice. A little behind the scenes. Big shout out to my boy Damon John. Doing it up. Keeping it real, man. They thought that show wasn't going to be a success. I was just with Damon in San Diego a couple of months ago, and he said, man, my mind is blown that we're going into our 6th season, Sebastian. Everyone thought this was going to be a dumb idea. So, did I make a Periscope list? No, can you elaborate on that and help me understand what that is? The GOP's posting too. Well, there we go. It's going to be interesting. Tom Green does do. He scopes a lot too. Tom Green's on one. It's great to see him again. That guy is hilarious. It's going to be interesting to see what these politicians do. Seinfeld said, I did see that, but I didn't get it. It was some lady laying in a chair. I thought it was like a conference. I tuned in this morning. Big Brothers. Oh, good. Well, that's already like a hush hush. You know, here's what's next. Let's do this. So Periscope's perfect because it's that peek behind the corner. This is great. You guys are still joining in. You guys are awesome. I really appreciate your time. I really do. Time is money, baby. And if you're going to stop and scope it up with me on my very first, that's what I'm doing, is getting politicians to be real. That's good. Politicians need to be real. They need to keep it real. I've got fresh ideas and a new agenda. That stuff's not going to crack. They need to start doing some crazy stuff. Like, you know, throwing a mini refrigerator out of the hotel room in Las Vegas and screaming thug life right before their debate the next morning. I don't know. This is great. Thank you so much for joining. If you guys can swipe right and share this with all your followers. By the way, side note, the reason I ask you to do that is because I learned by watching you. Because every time I'm on a good scope, everyone says make sure you swipe right. The real shizzle dizzle for the politizzle. I love that. You better hashtag that up. That's a long one, though. But every time I'm on a good scope, I'm on Fanzoscope or Mario, my boy Mario Armstrong. He always says swipe right. And, hey, that's kind of fun. Any other fun things you want me to say? I do a lot of voiceover work. We can have a little bit of fun here. Some impersonations, if you will. They always say swipe right, so I want to make sure that I'm following suit. I'm going to put the bow tie on for nothing here. So, guy walks into a bar. No. Speaking of that, though, I do a lot of public speaking, and it's my job to really talk and be in front of a camera, and that's what I love to do. I love audiences and cameras and both, etc. But I was petrified of stand-up comedy. Petrified. So for like the past 10 years, I've been thinking about doing it, and you're a serial streamer. I appreciate you, Steven. I really do. Thank you. I appreciate it. You like the bow tie, Trey? Whoa! I like you, too. While I speak about Periscope in the next traffic and conversions, I will more than likely, hey, traffic and T and my TNC peeps up in here. I will be Periscoping at the next TNC. That is if they ask me back, of course. Thank you, I appreciate that. Eye popping. It is this. I don't know what this color is. How about pops? It's like a watermelon color, and this is not that same color. It's pink, but because the lighting is just. You know, we're on and popping. Bow tie scope. Oh, the next one. I'm going to show everybody how to tie. But the problem is that I've got this this tripod, which is for what do you know, landscape video. And if I turn it this way, it gets a little too hot, top heavy. And plus, it broke off. So I got to Amazon up some. Hey, do you guys know of any awesome iPhone tripods? The one I found is like the one with the squiggly legs that you can wrap around stuff. I just need something that is not going to be top heavy. So if you know, all right, good. I'm following all you guys. I'm gonna go back in here, man. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. I'm gonna go back in here and show what this is. This is my tripod, and this is what you call a piece of. You get my drift, right? Because it just falls over. It makes me very frustrated. It gets me very flustered. It feels like is my bow tie too tight? Is that the problem, or do I just have the wrong tripod? A big on sale. I do have an actual. Maybe I'll just use that one. I guess maybe I just need the clip. There we go, the clip, and then it'll be less top heavy. There we go. Jellyfish mount. I like that idea. Jellyfish mount. Grip tight gorilla pad. Ooh, that sounds like. Is the phone gonna fall? No, my gorilla pad has it. Kim Garsh scoop this morning on Amazon. Okay, so okay, Kim Garsh always coming through with the tips. That's my girl right there. KG, big shout out to Kim Garsh. If you're not following her, you're missing out. She just started scoping. She's a newly addicted scoper. She's a good friend of mine, and I think she's all kinds of awesome. So big shout out to her. Make sure you're following her. And if you're watching this replay, Kim, sending some bow tie love from just down the pike here in Miami. She's your mentor. Well, you've got a damn good mentor because she's awesome. Just make a giant pile of marshmallows and use that for a tripod. That's a good idea, too. But the problem is, Amanda, is that I like to play Chubby Bunny. So if there's a big pile of marshmallows in front of me, then by default, I'm going to play Chubby Bunny. So, but that might be a good hashtag Chubby Bunny scope. There we go. Hey, I appreciate you, Brenda. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you. Hopefully you're laughing with me, maybe at me. I'm okay. I have a bow tie on. I'm here to entertain. I really am. Yes, that's not a bad idea. Has a pack for Periscope, includes tripod, iFish, and microphone. Sonia, you're awesome. Can you send me a tweet? Maybe you got a link to that? That'd be fantastic. I appreciate you telling me that the bow tie is classy. I think you're classy because your screen name is Periscope Queen. How about that? I'm going to follow I'm going to go back in and follow everybody after this so I don't lose my focus here because I got crazy ADD. It's not that bad. Look, squirrel! But sending me now. You're awesome. Periscope Queen in the house. Hearts back to you, too. And you made my day. You see, people helping people. It's a beautiful thing. It really is. So what I can tell you is how I started wearing bow ties. I think that's a fun story. So it actually all started right here. I'm in my home office right now, and I was going to launch what I call the social media university. I had a whiteboard that's right there a couple of years ago, and I was going to help people squirrel and Squirrel Scope. I was going to help people better understand about social media. This is like 4 or 5 years ago. I was really early to the market. It was a crazy idea, but I thought social media professor. Well, I never went to college, but professors wear bow ties, right? Maybe I just wear a bow tie. So I went and bought a bow tie. I had no idea how to tie it. I spent some time on YouTube to figure it out. Couldn't figure it out. I tied it all wrong, but it kind of looked there, so I just shot it. I'm like, hi, I'm Sebastian, the social media professor. But when I looked at myself in the mirror with a bow tie, an interesting thing happened. I stopped and I said, I can go out in public like this. I can legitimately talk to people about actually giving me money to do business with me with a bow tie on. I'll stand out. People will never forget meeting me, ever. I'm over the top as it is. You never forget it. How many Sebastians have you met that are just completely over the top, right? And now, yeah, hearts are matching the bow tie. Woo, woo. So I thought, you gotta stand out. You know, Steve Martin, one of my favorite quotes ever, be so good they can't forget you. And when I launched this brand, I didn't have any money. I didn't have anything at all. I had a bus pass and a skateboard. But I told myself, if you make enough noise, someone will come knock on your door. And I'm living proof of that. I've had brands knock on my door based on an Instagram picture that I posted and tagged them just casually. I mean, the stuff that happens is bananas. But I believe that making noise and constantly making noise and be consistent about it. And that's why I'm scoping it up right now, because my boy Brian Fanzo is leading the pack with showing people what's really going on with scoping. Mario Armstrong doing a great job. Persistence. That's it. And I am a persistent individual. I had a guy that hired me, my old boss in California, that said, kid, he gives me the old Michael Douglas from Wall Street. Kid, your picture should be under the word persistence in the dictionary. I absolutely want to do business with you because I am one persistent son of a gun. But that's how the bow tie came about. And then I found a spot to buy him, Nordstrom's Rack. If you've ever wanted to start buying bow ties, if you're a girl and you want to get one for your boyfriend or your husband, which I highly recommend, make them wear it. Only you can do that. Nordstrom's Rack, they're usually about $14 to $16, and you can get a pocket square for about $5 or $6. I'm talking out the door for 19, 20, 21 bucks. And I just started to build my whole collection over and over and over again. And now I've got a collection of about 33 bow ties now. And I can't leave the house without them. But everything's branded with my bow tie. Everything is consistent throughout my brand. My company is Social Buzz TV. That's the agency. We're the new media that cover events, create buzz for brands, and handle social media for brand strategies. And then I'm more of the brand ambassador in my own individual brand. But the bow tie is tied into all that. You know why? Because your social equity is far more valuable than your brand equity will ever be. And why do I say that? I'll say it one more time. Your social equity is far more valuable than your brand equity will ever be. Why? Because people buy from you. They buy from individuals. I wrote a whole chapter in my book about people buying from people they know, like, and trust. So, and people like the bow tie. It just gels with people. I don't know if they just trust me more, but I can tell you this, and I'm weaving all over the place telling you the story of the bow tie, but I can tell you this, walking into a prospect's office or a prospective client or a prospective brand that wants to hire me to represent their product with my bow tie, me walking in with a bow tie dressed to the nines and handing them a copy of my book and sharing my story of building a brand from nothing, and then sharing them a Periscope of me before I walked into the meeting, is what closes the deal, because the authenticity of the transparent process that people see. So my boy Gary V says authenticity trumps likability, and I'm going to go ahead and back that up 100%. The name of the book, Shorty, is Social Media Sucks If You Don't Know What You're Doing. That's just a picture. It's actually, that's the framed up, signed little collage my publisher put together. They are an incredible, and you can grab a copy, Brenda, on my website, SebastianRusk.com. And how awesome my publisher is. They're called Advantage Media Group. They're in Charleston, South Carolina, and AdvantageFamily.com if you want to check them out. They're phenomenal, and their team's incredible. They're like family, and they all sign this, you did it, way to go, and with a copy of my book. And this showed up about a week after the first set of books. Awesome brand. So if you want to write a book, hit me up. It's definitely not a cheap process by any means, but it's definitely well worth it. I don't even read books, and I wrote a book thanks to Advantage. So thank you. I appreciate you getting my book right now. If you buy it off my website, it comes signed. So I've got a few signed that we're able to ship out. So SebastianRusk.com. This scope is not about me selling books. This scope is about me connecting with people that I don't know, people that I do know, and helping you better understand what I don't know what you don't know that you don't know, and helping me better understand the same thing. I learn from you, you learn from me. I share your stuff, you share my stuff. Those are the basic social media 101 that we have seemed to forget because there's so much noise happening. A greet and meet here. Absolutely, it's great. Meet and greet's fantastic. Thanks so much for trying. The hearts are still flying in. People are still showing up. Feel free to share this. We're going to hang out for a few more minutes here. Again, the format, typically I'm going to talk about what's going on with brands that suck, with brands that don't suck. Can someone tell me how do I make the hearts go when I'm watching a scope? I don't think I obviously can't do it to my own, but when I'm watching one, what do you do? Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I really, really do. That's awesome. Send me a tweet. All of you send me a tweet. Say hello. I'm going to respond back. I'd ADD out if I tried to do you tap the screen. Hashtag tap the screen. I'm surprised someone hasn't registered that domain yet. Tap the screen. Then again, that could go in multiple directions. So I do a lot of MC work for events. We do live social media coverage. My team's running around creating content, but I'm there as the MC on stage and keeping everybody entertained. So if you host events, if you have an upcoming event, I'd love to be there. I'd love to be on stage with a bow tie. I haven't been on the road in a couple months. I've been home for a little while. On my way to LA in a couple weeks, but I was in San Diego with my friends at Digital Marketer for Traffic and Conversions. I know we had some T&Cers up in the scope here. Appreciate you guys. That was an absolute blast over 3 days out there. So there's a need to create some buzz with a bow tie. I got jokes too. Now, people don't always laugh at them. It's kind of like comedy. Well, I was so scared to do stand-up comedy, and someone said, Sebastian, comedy's so easy when it's not expected, right? But when you've got a bunch of drunk people sitting there going, make me laugh. Let's go. I really appreciate you guys sharing all this. I'm being photobombed by the very talented, right here, the very talented Gaping Void. His is Art Basel exposition installation, maybe art show, Art Basel display. Was at the Lab Miami a couple years ago. It was put on by Rackspace. Big shout out to Robert Scoble, Rackspace. And it was called I Am Not Delusional, I Am an Entrepreneur. And it was pretty cool, actually. You can see some of it. If you don't know Hugh, you definitely need to. At Gaping Void, you can follow him. He's done work for the largest brands out there, Zappos, LinkedIn. He pretty much decorates any startup on the planet. And just going places. Great friends with him and his wife, Anush. And he does awesome stuff. So make sure you're following him. Send him a tweet. Tell him you were scoping it up with me today on the social media. By the way, hashtag social media sucks. I'm thinking about starting SM sucks scope too, but that's kind of long. What do you guys think for us? Should I keep it with just social as my hashtag? Because I use that for everything. My memes, my content, everything we do that pertains to things pertaining to social media. Or should I come up with a new one, which would be SM sucks scope? So taking recommendations from you. And right now it's 3:30. I went a little bit longer than I thought I was going to go. Mr. Fanzo recommended 15, 20 minutes. You know, I don't want to bore people, and there's only so much I can talk about. And I got to hold this thing until I get all my awesome Amazon recommended scope equipment. So, hey, you guys are fantastic. Any questions, anything you got, hit me up. Send me a tweet. My email address is srusk@socialbuzztv.com. Any questions, thoughts, ideas, concerns, anything you got, ideas for the show, anything that sucks, anything I can do to support you, help you out, I am here as a resource and readily available and ready to help as my schedule permits. Hey, guys, once again, thanks so much for joining in. If you're watching this as a replay, share it with your followers. And yes, awesome. Got me on Twitter. Fantastic. I'm going to get you as soon as I'm done scoping right here. Well, I'm going to try to do this every day. Wherever there's, wherever I've got a Wi-Fi connection and good lighting and a bow tie. I won't always have a bow tie. And right when I'm about to close out, people we're just joining us here. We'll just swipe to the right and share this. Hopefully you're catching the replay. It's great to connect with you guys. I love this. This is addicting. Holy cow. I say I'm going to do this once a day. Watch it with like the AM show. We got the PM show. So you guys are fantastic. Remember, social media sucks if you don't know what you're doing. I'm Sebastian Rusk signing off from the Social Media Sucks Scope Studio here in downtown Miami. We'll talk to you next time, kids.